Hello, my dear ones. Talking to you from Hawaii. That's where I'd like to move or something. I thought they promised us global warming. That's why I don't have any mangoes, because we don't have global warming. Damn it, I want global warming. Come on, global warming, global warming. Look at that sweet little thing. Look at the perfection that thing is. All right. Believe it or not, this is a Valencia Pride, a little small. Valencia Prides are generally double that size, if not 3 or 4 times that size. But no, Florida has to have a freeze. So I have very few mangoes on my trees. Very few made it. Especially the most delicious one. Oh my God. And I got these out of Pine Island. You got to order them from the mango factory. And boy, are they good. But they're all turning ripe on me at the same time. And so I was like, oh, I had to bring a bunch to work. And this is a tin of homemade comfrey salve. Nice and green. You can see how it settles. Salve's hard to make. Salve's real hard to make. You can see how it can settle in places. Salves are just real hard to make. I'll tell you right. A good salve. This is a nice rich salve. The Nature's Way salve was almost white. But there's 7-day distillation time, 7-day process. 7 days. You don't get crap out of 7 days. Plus, they were 7-to-1 concentrate. Ours are 4-to-1. Always true to 4-to-1. Now, thanks, sweetheart. Let me see. This is Raquel. I think that's right there. Thank you, sweetheart. You were really nice here. And her letter, she made a nice, sweet letter to me. I really love it there. But pain as well. Let's see. People tell me it helps with joint. Comfrey is one of my favorites. And it's one of the FDA's hates. Stupid people. Comfrey's been used by the mountain people since the dawn of time almost. Comfrey leaves. I used to raise comfrey and eat the leaves as a salad. I always wonder why they're bringing lettuce when comfrey leaves are really tasty. And what's the nickname for comfrey? Knitbone. So it gives you an idea. It's silica content and calcium content and all of that. Silica converts the calcium in the body, and how powerful that is in repairing tissue. And of course, that's what comfrey is known for, is the repairing of tissue. Love it. Comfrey leaf and root. Just love it. But you have so much unawareness and ignorance at levels where people have gained control over us. And that's the sad part about all of that. And the medical world has been a big part of that. What are you taking? Since 11? She's been on something, prescription, since age 11. Holy crap. Was on 1,000 milligrams a day. She's down to 250. That's great. Splitting my pills and using Ideric capsules. I don't know what you're talking about there. A lot of emotions coming up. Kind of. See, and that's why the spiritual class, and that's why as a practitioner you have to understand that your client or patient comes packing with emotions, comes packing with thoughts. They're not just a little physical being. And then behind those thoughts and behind those emotions is the being itself, which is you. Same thing. So I never did finish this in a good way because, I don't know, I just get off track a lot of times, but someone's asked me about the symptoms of detoxification because a lot of people are scared of them. And this is one of them, the emotions. And you can have all kinds of emotional triggers to thoughts, and you can have all kinds of ridiculous thoughts. This is why I try to teach, get out of your mind. Use your mind, don't let it use you, because if you've lost your awareness to thought, then it controls you. Everything you do is by thought first. You have to think about it before you act. And so emotions drive thought. So it's like, I want something, that can be a thought, but how bad does your desire drive to make that thought manifest on what realm you want it to manifest on? Whether you want thought to manifest astrally or you want that thought to manifest physically. So when you start detoxifying, and that's why you see so much adrenal gland weakness too. And plus a lot of souls now at this level have been through a lot of horrific journeys. We all come packing with hidden emotions from, serious experiences that probably hurt us real bad in certain ways. Creation, we talked about this in the last video, creation is dualistic. Don't expect a nice ride to heaven. I mean, you can have it, but there's all levels of heavens. That's why it's what Jesus said. My Father's mansion has many rooms. There's a lot of levels to heavens, a lot of levels. But you don't want those. You want to go home, which is not in creation, so to speak, which means that you've never left. Hard to explain that, and understand that spiritually, but creation is an illusion of duality, where the one splits itself into two. But out of that two, endless. I mean, look at mathematics. Endless combination. I mean, endless. And it all starts from two. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy out there. Hard to figure it all out. Not that you really want to. So emotions is one thing that can come up. And we've talked about this before. It's obvious. Old injuries, old surgeries. You can have pain in that area wherever the surgery was. Because I guarantee you, after you've had a surgery, the surgeon isn't a healer. They're like carpenters. They go in, they repair, they replace, they remove, but the body has to heal. That's why when you learn the art of healing, you can heal it before you remove it, if you got the time. It's the twin aspects of life, right? Birth, life, and death. The changing, transitioning from one form to another form. The consciousness doesn't change. It can't. It comes from the one, the eternal, the omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, the all. You can't change. You can't go anywhere. You can't hide because it's ever present. It's creation that plays hide and go seek with everything. The great hide and go seek of creation. You lose yourself, you find yourself. You lose yourself, you find yourself. Oh. However, detoxification used to have, in my world, some rough times. I used to carry a beeper all the time before cell phones came about. And, I cared for my patients because at night they could go into healing crisis. Have I ever sent anybody to the emergency room? Hell yeah. Oh, yeah. If I think your symptom is concernful to me, and especially when it comes to breathing and things like that, I'm going to send you to the ER. I love the ER. If you have good ER docs and nurses, they're all friendly and they're all there to help you and to stabilize you. Yeah, they don't understand the road of detoxification or hydration. This is why I've been trying to change the nomenclature there to hydration more, because that's exactly what it is. But detoxification is a word that's caught on, meaning I'm going to detox either from whatever, heavy metals, drugs, alcohol, whatever, right? But it's simply the art, true detoxification, not the withdrawal or discipline from a drug or something, but true detoxification is bringing in electrical hydration to the body and allowing the body to become anionic again instead of cationic. In other words, everything that's breaking down stops and everything starts rebuilding again as long as you can move your sewer system. This is all about sewage. Matter of fact, diseases is nothing but sewage 101. Said this before. So you don't want to ever fear that, because the medical world can stabilize. You have to get smart. How do you deal with an awareness that doesn't have much of an awareness to it? I mean, when you take a look at it, you pull back and you understand what we're talking about and teaching you, you'll look at the medical world as a totally different world. We got serious problems in the medical world. Serious problems in the medical world. And serious attitude problems. I mean, there's serious problems that have offshooted to the COVID, offshooted to all these things. Scary stuff out there. These guys play with people's lives every day by the millions. So you just got to be real careful with that. But don't ever be afraid to detox. This is, when I started coming out with the kits, I didn't have beepers. I didn't have phone calls at all. You remember when I had Marcy at the clinic and I had Attila? They wouldn't wear a beeper or a phone at this time. And I asked them, I would like you to wear a phone. No, we're not going to wear one. So they refused to wear a phone. Because if you're in trouble, I want you to be able to get a hold of somebody. That's why all our phone says, if you're in trouble, call 911 or go to the ER. But don't feel bad about things like this. You're bringing your body from hellville to wellville. Humans have not understand health for who knows how far back. You only have bits and pieces of that. And I think you could probably go back into the Egyptians. You could probably go back into every civilization and find a raw food community. Look at Jesus and the Essenes. That was a raw food community. You ever read the Essene Gospel of Peace? Stuff like that, yeah. So there's been these groups of raw foodists, just like you're a whole group of raw foodists, healers in the world that understand the truth. But we're a small group. Compared to everything else out there, we're a small group. And the world is suffering badly. So I'm hoping our group will expand and become real big, and just for the sake of humans to wake up and quit suffering so much. So, sweetheart, thank you so much for the Sabbath. Don't ever be afraid to dig in, but this med that you've been on, I'll read this a little better because I was just handed this. So I'll read your letter a little better, and I'll talk to you on the next video. All right. You went over his eyes in the last video Friday, but didn't read his question. Oh. Well, that makes sense. All right. Waleed, W-A-L-E-E-D. He's a male, United States. He's 27. He's 5'11", 142 pounds. Benign parotid tumor left. I remember this case. Trigeminal neuralgia, food cravings, diet question. Well, just going across the top here, trigeminal neuralgia, oh my God. Generally, they associate that with C2. or the pinching of the nerve right in. Oh, man, that can be extremely, extremely painful. I've had several cases. Same thing. When you look at whatever symptom you have, it's always going to come up out of the lymphatic system and either affect the blood, the nerve, or any of the other systems, but it's always going to be the corrosiveness, the cationic effect that acids have in your body that creates symptomology like this. And then, of course, you've got a tumor, which already shows you that you're backed up. So, again, getting your lymphatic system moving is always number one. So you want to get your kidneys filtering. You want to work on your GI tract because of the relationship of the transverse to the head. So there's 2 areas of elimination and digestion and 2 areas of blood and sewage areas you're going to work on, right? Now you want to work on what controls all this. What controls everything? The endocrine gland system. Your adrenals, your pituitary, your thyroid. Food cravings are generally parasitic, in my opinion, especially with fungus. Fungus makes you crave all kinds of fermented foods, fermented drinks, things like that, breads, cheeses, all those sort of things are well-known fungal foods. So, hey there, Doc. I'm a first-generation kid born and raised here in Chicago. Yeah, my parents are both born and raised in Yemen. Before you get worried about the title of my symptoms, not worried, son. I have to say that thanks to you, I've been learning so much about the body from your work for over a year now and can happily say that all of my old symptoms are fading away and I feel are in complete control. And get rid of that tumor. Just get that lymph cleaned up, bro, and you'll be good to go. Especially trigeminal neuralgia. You want to look at your upper C-spine, look at your back and make sure it's all straight, that sort of thing. A few little things like that. Get the fungus out of you, that sort of thing. The eye picks are from December of last year, mostly of entertainment purposes. Honestly, I usually weigh at around 160, but have lost a lot when getting into the fruits. Of course, I am writing how to ask about that. I know a lot of people generally cut off the fruit and get on the vegetables and start building up a little more, especially if they're used to building up a little bit. I think that's totally up to you. I would like to see the tumor gone. Trigeminal neuralgia, never heard of that one. That sort of thing. We all have fungus in and out. I jumped into the fruit-only diet out of excitement at first a while ago and probably did everything wrong. You know what? Don't beat yourself up. Here's a hug, man. Yeah, you didn't do everything wrong. I jumped right into it myself. I go, whoa, this is truth, man. All the lights came on. It's like, ding, ding, of course. This is why humans are sick. Look at what they're freaking eating. Before, mama cooks good, right? You didn't think about things like that because in terms of the world at large, it's full of diseases. And then there's the medical doctor that you go to once in a while as farmers. Farmers generally don't go to medical doctors very often. I'm just here to tell you. But still, you went to the medical doctor because you got sick. Wasn't the food you were eating or all the friggin' milk you were guzzling down. Oh, no. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh. What happened to our chemists in the world? They should have been fighting against these foods for a long time ago. Right now, my stomach's cravings shot through the roof and didn't want to go of the old diet of chicken and rice. Oh, no chicken and rice. Ugh. Constipating too. Rice? Oh, nasty. Right? I know that it is most likely a parasite reaction and that I should have dewormed properly. Yeah, you always want to deworm yourself. Take like a parasite G. NM, if you want together. Our fungal balance is due in Friday. So we're getting that back, which is Parasite M, but a little stronger. Just saying. Woohoo. I did cut down on one of the strong ones in there, but you should still be quite good. But, it's also moving the sewer system out. You can't just make it kill. You got to be careful because you got to remember your cells are involved as well. And parasites, they're cells. So you have to be careful. Like wormwood can be toxic. And I did a lot of her wormwood. Oh, my God. But wormwood can be toxic at repeated high dosages. So you just got to be careful, that sort of thing. But again, clean the sewer system. All right? But then when you look at your symptomology, sewer system. But it got me realizing that I never actually had cravings of the fruit and vegetables in terms of that feeling of full, warm, and satisfied ever eating. You know why? Because they're bioactive. They're electrical. When you eat raw foods, what are you eating for? Electricity. You're eating for energy, baby. Or you're eating because your emotions like the flavor. Of course, all those things. But raw foods are electrical, powerful. They get you going. That's the whole thing. You can feel the energy of them. Yeah, when you get nice settled down, yeah, that's cooked food. I have been so used to my old traditional diet that I don't really know what fruits or vegetables that could basically satisfy that feeling. Cooked? No, I don't know either, because that to me sounds like that old full feeling you had after you ate too much. I don't know. See, I don't like to feel full. I don't like to feel my stomach. I don't like to feel food. I want to taste and absorb the energy and the beauty of it and let that just surround all my cells, enhance the function of that, give that enjoyment, and then move on. That I didn't really, okay. If you could direct me to the foods to look out for, I know that it's probably more vegetables for grounding. I just don't know which ones are what. And I probably proper microbes, parasite handling. Or books to read or resources to look at, then it would help me more than you know. Oh, man. Sending you all my love from Chicago and the demon. And I've already went over the eyes. Okay. Yeah, well, where'd you go? Here you are. Yeah, your kidneys are chronic, and so you want to use some herbs to get on the kidneys and work with the kidney lymphatic system a little bit in that way. The endocrine glands are very important that you work on. Parathyroid. You gotta kick that up a little bit because you gotta get your bones stronger. Connective tissue. Yeah, definitely parathyroid. You got prolapsing of the transverse bowel here and all that. Got some work to do on that. I think this is in the lower lobe of the right lung here, and there's a spot in there I don't like. So I would advise taking the lung formula for a little while and try to hawk that up and learn how to breathe properly. So your first breath in comes through your nose and it comes and moves your abdomen, your belly. You don't want to move your your chest when you first breathe. You don't want to be a shallow breather. That's a shallow breather. A deep breather is down here first, then up here. But when you're cleaner, you naturally breathe lower. The more mucus you have in you and the more congestion and acidic, the more shallow breather you are. Yeah, and I really don't like the gallbladder really well here, son. So sometime you might want to take that liver gallbladder formula because I think it'll help your pancreas, because I'm either looking at a right hip, pancreatic, right testicle, somewhere in there. Right kidney is you've got to be real sweet to your kidneys. Forget about weight and muscles and all that. It'll come on you. If you got to do some green drinks, you can pop our superfood blend or do some green drinks. Get if you can find alfalfa or grow alfalfa sprouts, kelp or dulse, things that are full of minerals and amino acids, the dark green, stuff like that. You can do that. We have Muscles by Nature, which is all of that. And that keep you alkaline while you're building up a little bit, but at the same time, your activity level is going to dictate your muscle level. It's kind of like like the sun level dictates your vitamin D levels. Medical doctors just think there should be a standard milligram for everything. Body should produce everything. That's such a frozen intellect. I can't even tell you. But I just think that you need to work on the lungs and bronchial area a little bit there. If you're a smoker, start eating it. Or use a water pipe or something. Oh, yeah, you need calcium. Calcium, bones, connective tissue. All right, very important. All right, move that lymph. Move that lymph. I'm going to Hawaii. I know. I'll take you guys with me. They're all laughing at me out there. All right. This is Terry. This Terry is a female. She's 32 years young, 5'7", 153 pounds. She has tendinitis, brittle nails, canker sores, depression, and anxiety. Now, here's a 32-year-old woman, probably a beautiful woman, right? Really 32, perfect age. And look at what all she's suffering with. She's suffering with tendinitis, which is pressure. She can hear her heartbeat probably in her ear. Brittle nails. What female wants brittle nails, right? You got to be careful about other things. Saggy breasts, saggy skin, everything else. Got to worry about that. Prolapsed uterus. I'm serious. These are the things that come with brittle nails because it's what? Come on, guys. What is it? Parathyroid. Calcium utilization. You're 5'7". Doesn't give me a clue if your eyes are here. We'll take a look. Canker sores. Yeah, herpes. I mean, we're all full of herpes. Depression, again, linking to brittle fingernails. There's your depression. There's your parathyroid gland. Anxiety, of course, is your adrenals, sweetheart. So there's the adrenals. So that right off, I'm going to go, tendinitis, pressure, lymphatic pressure. Oh, adrenals, yes, anxieties, lymphatic. Just how bad then? We all know we all have lymphatic. It's just how bad. And there comes the eyes. Dear Dr. Morse and team, I've attached my eye photos. Whoa. This is the way we go to Sulphurville. Look at all the sulfur. Ready for this one? Wow. Makes for a beautiful picture, don't it? You guys might want to get online with this guy that was just here. He's coming back. I can't remember when, but he takes your eye pictures such a clarity, and then he puts them on anything you want. Well, you got pretty good genes. Left eye. So we're looking at kidneys here. That's your adrenals, and there's your kidney line. There's your nerve rings. But look at these radius solaris. They're not real big, but they still are starting to radiate out all the way out. You want to nip these in the bud. Well, you notice how they come right down to this area right there? That's your transverse colon going right across your pupil. Look how small her pupils are. Look at how big her skin ring is. So you know there's thyroid, so you come over here, and there's thyroid right here. Probably some parathyroid in there. Here's upper back. I mean, you got good strong genes. That's probably your left hip or close. Could be some pancreatic and ovarian. Maybe spleen a little bit, I don't know. Bronchial trunk. This radiates it to your back of your head here, your ear, and your mastoid. See how much light changes the way this looks compared to what it really looks like? See how it makes it look like a totally different eye? Because she has so much light. See how much light's in here? Bam! But this is more moderate. This is what her true color looks like. See how white? Now, with this picture, I just show you guys, this looks like she's in an extreme subacute level of lymphatic stagnation. Look how yellow that looks. But when you come down and look at the reality of it, it's white. Better. Sometimes too much is too much. Too close is too close. That sort of thing. I had a camera that went right up to the fibers there. You can't do anything with that, really. So we got a right eye here. Look at how much congestion you have in your throat. See that big wad of mucus, that big wad of lymph? Throat, you might have a sore. Now, here's a symptom when you detox. Say this person detoxes deeply. That's the throat area. That person could have that weakness coming up and have a wicked sore throat. I can't talk. I don't know why I've got a sore throat. I don't know why. And it all is detoxification, because detoxification is pulling out all the mucus and removing all the metals and wastes and chemistry out of the body. It's cleaning itself. And that's what it sounds like when it's coming out. Now I can talk. Yeah. But pretty good genes. But look at your bowel area. Look at this bowel area. Look how that goes into the pupil. Look how that comes back out. This is sulfur, so I'm surprised you haven't had a life of gastric distress and all kinds of problems. She's malabsorbed big time. Heavy lymph, sweetheart. You are getting yellowing, which you're moving to subacute. Lymph nodes are swollen in several places. Look at here. So this is how we go to a grape diet. The number 2 picture. This is a typical professional eye photo. And sometimes you can get, especially if you go to a ophthalmologist or something, they're into the retina anyway, so you lose your fibers a lot. It didn't capture the outer ring of my eye, though, where you can see the nerve rings, but I wanted to still include it because of the high quality capture. Isn't that wild? You get up close like that? Yeah, it's kind of cool. Eyes are cool, man. I just think iridology is one of the most fascinating little sciences out there that can tell us a whole lot that nothing else can. And simple. I'm reaching out with deep gratitude as well as a few questions regarding my healing. No, I love all of you guys, and I appreciate all your love back. Group hug, group hug. From Hawaii. From Hawaii. Dang it. Global warming. You lied to us. I've been in Florida off and on since 1950. And, of course, I was a baby then. And then I moved down here several times. And I moved down here after the Air Force finally in 1970, domiciled here in 68. Then I had to spend 2 years in the Air Force. And it used to get 102 here, 103. Through the summer, you'd see 100 degrees here a lot. You rarely see over 95 now. And in the low 90s. Global warming, think of the Earth changing its axis and then rethink. Impacting my life. I truly don't have words big enough. Oh, capture my gratitude. Oh, thanks. Thanks, sweetheart. Your teachings, your presence, and your dedication to truth and healing have profoundly shaped my path. Oh, thanks, sweetie. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Not only personality, but also in the way I know now serve others. Thank you deeply. Well, because you want to be total. Love yourself. Know yourself. You don't need anything because everything comes out of you as it comes out of all of life. You come out of the one. It's really difficult to understand that. You have to experience it. That's why if you can break thought and get yourself in the observation of the now, you can surrender deeper and deeper and deeper. And I mean, it's insane. It's literally insane to the levels of joy, awareness, there's all kinds of levels of things. This little planet is so small. I love you too, my dear. Yep. I've been on a detoxification and healing journey for almost 10 years. Yeah, baby. Yeah, I've been on it since I was 21, and I'm 76, I think. I've been plant-based for that entire time, with the last 7 years being high raw. Oh, sweet. I take my hat off. I tell you, when you can do what she's doing, it's just beautiful. It's just amazing. Because being all raw, it's amazing. And in the past year, about 80% raw all over. Currently, I am eating mostly fully raw, primarily fruit with minimal fats. Occasionally, I incorporate small amounts of greens, like juices, salads, or nori wraps. But I keep it very clean and simple. Honey, you're doing it perfectly. And then if you want to take off and dig deeper into the lymph system, go ahead. Take a month off. I'm going to do nothing but grapes. All right? After that, I'll come back and have a salad for lunch for a while and stuff like that. Then I'm going to do it again. Or, you know what? Next week I'm going to do all fruit this week. Next week I'm going to go on a 3 or 4 day water fast. I'm just going to just have water for 3 days, and then I'm come back on my fruit juices, and then into the fruits, and then go another week on fruit, and then I'll add a salad back in, and weave yourself in and out. That's how I've had to do it. No judgment here. Just weave and do the best you can. I hand it to you. I think you're top notch. Last year, I completed a 55-day juice cleanse, primarily on fruit juice. You're doing it. Very spiritual lady here, guys. During last time, but she's probably married 32. During that time, my kidneys were filtering on and off, though I haven't checked recently. Isn't that funny? Something like filtration of the kidneys. What the hell is that? I know. You would have never thought. I'd have never thought growing up. You just pee and think everything's coming out like it should. I regularly incorporate your herbal formulas along with other herbal tinctures, and I also use saunas consistently. Oh, this lady sounds on top of the world. I've done extensive bowel and liver work, including God, honey. Oh, you're digging in. Man. I love it. You sound like me. You sound like me. I've done a lot of liver detoxes and a lot of liver cleanses and stuff like that. Including multiple mucoid plaque cleanses. Oh, releasing an estimated total of close to 3 feet over time. That's 3 feet of this plaque. It's a yardstick long of this plaque. But you do have a large malabsorption ring, so you're probably absorbing a lot better than you did. That's what you need. You've been doing everything you needed to do. So these people, whether they know it or not, are listening to their guides, their inner spiritual guides, and those that are helping them, and themselves, waking it up themselves to their higher. I don't want to say higher because that's who they are, but you're waking up to your to who you are. I just think you're just this is what every one of you should be doing. Work it, baby, work it. All right. Where am I? Oh my God. I've done, including multiple mucoplexes. I got that. Releasing in 3 foot. I've seen many improvements. My chronic acne has cleared. Now, I thought you had that thick skin ring like that. Of course, this really brings it up. But look how dark that looks. When you look it up, something real close. Look at how dark that looks. Not so bad when you look back here, but that's pretty dark. That's her skin cells. Of course, all cells in some way or another, I still say it, have a kitchen and a sewer system hooked to it. And when that sewer system is backed up, that is the world of diseases. When the kitchen doesn't work, that's the world of death. And my energy levels are much better overall. However, there are still a few chronic issues I'm struggling with. Yeah, but, I mean, sweetheart, you need to be proud of yourself. I mean, you're showing those how you have to do it. Because when you look at this and you think about that's the lymphatic capillaries in the finger. What's the one look like in the liver? What's it look like in your kidneys themselves? What's your lymphatic system look like in your ovaries or your testes? What does your lymphatic system look like in your bowel wall? And think about that. It's all backed up. It gets scary. That's why you see fingers and everything mutating. That's why you see bones and everything crippling up. So you have to give yourself a dear pat on the back. You've done particularly well. Keep working it. Just keep working it. You're working it like you should work it. Every now and then you go on a water fast. Every now and then you go on a juice fast. Every now and then you play and kick it up. The only other way you kick it up is using the herbs, dealing with affordability. And you can kick it up with the GI, any of our GI tract formulas, our broom, which we're getting our broom back in the powder form. Or do we have the powder, still have the capsules? I don't know. But you use the herbs to kick it up. You use the herbs to kick up your endocrine gland function. You use the herbs to increase kidney filtration. You can use the herbs to pull on the lymphatic system a little more, astringent like herbs, right? The lymphatic herbs. You can use herbs to increase circulation if you wanted it. You can use herbs for everything in there in the sun. You can use herbs to help get the mucus out of the lungs. God, I haven't seen anything herbs are not good for. So outside of using that, the outside on that would be glandulars. And the only glandular I'm really into, two of them, is parathyroid and adrenals. But if you need another one, ultimately, absolutely, because I've used other forms of tissue to help ladies before. So outside of that, vitamins and minerals, I'm going into plants and extract the chemistry, and then I'm going to potentize that chemistry, and then I'm going to give it back to you. I've lost the whole plant consciousness. I lost the whole family of chemistry. And now I have to deal with isolate chemistry and their effects. Because chemistry, as I said, works as a family. You can't give one by one by one and not expect to get kicked. Look at silver. Look at how colloidal silver turned that guy blue. You can't use these things. You can't use chemistry like that. Not get your butt kicked a little bit. All right. Damn, honey, you really... All I can say is I'm super proud of you that this is the way you go to Wellville. And you've got to pull this body along with you, because remember, your consciousness. You can be anywhere you want, at any time you want. You can do anything you want to do. When you realize that all you have to do is learn how to free your attention up from this physical presence and be able to move it freely anywhere you want it. Wow. All right. Terry here. Tendinitis, left ear. All right. Well, left kidney's chronic. Right kidney, not as much, but I'm going to say the left kidney's chronic. The lymph system in that kidney's pretty backed up. To me, you've got sulfur big time, and that means you got to get that orange out of you, and that might be holding things back a little bit. And of course, that's, in my opinion, is going to create a lot of fungal problems in you. But I don't know what to say, guys. I'm with all of you guys. We're awakening up to the truth of what's been going on here. But you have to give true respect in that most life on this planet is unconscious. Everything is automatic. If you look at most humans, they're almost zombie land. They don't understand that they are the source of awareness. They are the source. But they're not supposed to know that until it's time to start wakening up and stop playing the games of creation, because you have bigger things to do. But that's your advanced souls. But that's pressure. Tendinitis is pressure. And that's all lymphatic to me. That's all lymphatic. And its impact upon the nervous system and the blood vessels too, to tell you quite truthful. So to get this pressure out, this isn't a pressure you can take a blood pressure medication for. Matter of fact, you might check your blood pressure on that side just out of curiosity to see what your blood pressure is on that left side. And was it the left ear? Yeah. Left ear and mastoid chronic. And it could give you a little lightheadedness at times, you know. You could try ear candling, the ears. You want to do both of them. Try to get you some good ear candles. I think my son still sells them in the clinic here. But maybe 4 candles per ear. See if that'll take that out of there. But you're headed toward glaucoma and things like that. And we got to open up this bowel, get everything moving, open up that lymph, get all the swelling and the edema out of you, and you'll lose that. There were brief periods where I improved slightly, but over the past year, despite deep detox, including the 55-day juice fast, there's been no noticeable improvement. And you also might want to take nerve power. That just come to my mind. Maybe nerve power can help strengthen the myelin sheath a little faster, because you're weak all the way around there. Keep working on those adrenal glands. Very important for neurotransmitter production. And without neurotransmitter production, you lose the myelin sheath. It all works together. So really want to build. Matter of fact, you probably at this point could use that cell regen formula. It's a regeneration, strengthens. Matter of fact, the nerve power is just full of nerve tonics. Strengthen. But get the pressure out of you as well. But keep in mind, don't beat yourself up. You've got this sulfur. Sulfur is not easy for anybody to get out of them. But it's sure easy to give it to you. Medical doctors used to give sulfur tablets all the time. A lot of vaccines were sulfur-based. There's so many sulfur-based. Your antibiotics initially, like penicillin, were sulfur-based, sulfur drugs. It can be very intense, especially in silence, I bet. And it's emotionally challenging because I long to experience true quiet again. Yeah, you got to strengthen up that neural system. You go in that direction, but keep working on that lymphatic system, sweetheart. If these are recent pictures, despite all that you've been doing, which has been perfect, you've got a lot more ahead of you. Don't freak out. It's just what you were born with. But this is part of you awakening and becoming awakened to the fact that you're a higher being, honey. It's time we all awaken to those levels. Ashcan planet, man. I used to smoke cannabis, which worsened it. But I have completely stopped and still see no improvement. Well, again, you have weak nervous system, all the things that we've talked about. I experienced some physical head trauma paired with chronic stress over the years, which is where the ringing stemmed from. Well, if you've got head trauma, that's all fixable stuff. It's all fixable. Head trauma, you want to fix head trauma. But again, your blood can't do everything for you. Medical doctors, blood can't do everything for you. You have to have a system that has a removal system to it. Blood is not a removal system. Blood is a feeding system. The lymphatic system is a removal system. It helps remove the chemistry that initiates inflammation, whether it's damaged cells or heavy metals that you consume, whatever. Weak brittle nails, the parathyroid. And I would work on my pituitary a little bit with it. Absolutely, sweetheart. You got to work on your endocrinology. Double dip on the endocrine gland formula maybe, but at least get the parathyroid glandular along with the endocrine gland formula. My fingernails and toenails are very fragile and have noticeable ridges, and that's the depression. That's linked to your depression. This is why I am such an advocate for females to check these things before they conceive and have babies, because they can get into some very serious unhappiness. Their marriages can get ruined. They can kill their babies. I'm serious. There's some serious postpartum depression cases out there. That's probably born with that. Your endocrinology's down. Again, you want to bring everything, keep working on it. Remember, genetics is the memory in these cells. Until you can introduce a higher level of thinking or performance to these cells, which are going to come from the energy out of foods, the consciousness, that's what's going on here. Almost a transference of consciousness almost. But for cells to wake up a little bit, realize they're more than they thought they were. Again, the mind, they're conditioned. Life is a conditioned experience in duality. And that takes you right down into cell morphology, cell genetics, all of that. But that can all be changed as it is created. It can be uncreated or brought up into a much higher level than initially passed even. These are genetic passes. You want to take that way back into the genetic blueprint, wake all these cells back up. Just takes a little time, relax. You're doing good. You're doing really, really good. This will go away, okay? Chronic canker sores, yeah. You've got herpes, and you just got to get all that out of you, and that's lymph. But look at your lymph system. You're holding all that in. I had a young girl, probably her first time. I don't know. She was young, 17 or something, 16. I don't know. And someone gave her herpes. Her eyes were solid white. And I said, sweetheart, don't get mad at me, but you're going to be a while getting these out of you because your sewer system is insane. I don't know what to say about it. That's the things that I've learned in detoxifying people and looking at the eyes and correlating all these things, is that your lymph system determines how bad it is, determines how bad everything stays, how long canker sores stay and everything else. These are acids. And the more acidic, matter of fact, you can bring out canker sores in a detox. Oh, yeah. Oh, canker sores, all kinds of stuff. Stuff you don't want, the body wants to get rid of it. If I bite my lip or cheek, it often turns into a severe canker. Or you better watch it, you lose your teeth. I mean, you sound like your mouth is extremely acidic. You might want to wash your mouth out with bicarbonate or baking soda a couple of times a day or so. Sounds like your mouth is extremely acidic. You got to get yourself some pH papers and check your saliva, because that sounds like a mouth that's extremely acidic. Well, there goes your gums, your jawbone, your teeth. You want to check that one out. All right. Yeah. These can become extremely painful. Holy crap. I grew up with them too. Well, I was smallpox. So that gave us all herpes. Thank you, medical doctors. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But that's why it's so important to have grapes and things that are strong alkalizers. You want strong alkalizers. And I might recommend that you start drinking this. No, I'm sorry. This. All right. Either swallow it or spit it. Get another one. Oh, I'm dead serious. You're way too acidic. And that's dangerous. I've been focusing on a lymphatic and neurological support. You're smart, sweetheart. You're in we're all connected. Get in with us, everybody. We're all connected. Using brain and nerve herbs, working, and remember, same with nerve power, same thing. Nerve power, a little more into the tonics and strength that way. Working on to drain the head. And supporting. See, you're smart as a whip. You know all this. Elimination pathways. This lady is just how I like Terry. I would love to see every one of you like Terry. And then your successes. Some of you are strict, even more strict. And yet some of you are struggling to fight, and I get that. But we're here to help you. Hopefully her story will excite you to get back in the game. Because creation is just a friggin' game. I've also used ear candles. There you go. There you go. There you go. Good. Then it's lymphatic pressure, sweetie, and you just got to keep working on it. In my eye photos, I do see nerve ring, and what appears to be sulfur, which I'm actively working on through bowel and lymphatic detox. You guys are the smart of the world. You just don't. Some of you probably don't realize how smart you are and how you can help this planet. I know you're working on yourselves. But, my God, this planet doesn't know what you guys know. And how to help yourselves. Because that's what this is. It's a game of helping yourself. I mean, we've got clinics around, and we have our counselors and stuff like this, and they're there to help you in every way. We have our grads from our schools and everything else. But eventually, you got to pick up the paperwork, get the herbs, get the grapes, get the mangoes, and go to town, baby. And become the experience. Become the experience. Open yourself up with meditation. Open up your emotions. Don't care. Whatever it shows you, don't care. Whatever comes through. Detox. Thoughts come through to detox. See ya. Emotions come through to detox. See ya. Who's in control of the detox? Your body or you? Are all these bodies in control and you're like a leaf blowing in the wind? That's no way to go through creation, because you will be used by other entities. You'll be used by others all your journey. Nah! Stop that. You're the boss of your own world. You command these things done. You work on them. My main question is, am I missing something? No. Just keep working with the herbs like you're doing. Maybe one formula would be more helpful than another. I just have to see how you work out with them. I would use that acid relief, though. I would definitely use it as a mouthwash, but I'll also see if you can pull some of that out in your lymphatic system. And see if you can get this sulfur out of you. But you got to get the kidneys in better shape. And that's all you're working on there. Skin, pretty weak, but build, strengthen. You're coming out of Hellville. Most people get it on this planet don't come out of Hellville, guys. You guys are learning how to. Most people don't come out of Hellville. Look at the movie stars. Dying like flies. Because they're like horses with blinders. Conditioned thinking. Narcissistic. When you get too narcissistic, you lose your ability to listen to others. Be careful about getting too narcissistic, because that'll keep you on the cycle of reincarnation and karma. Be humble. People have a lot more awareness than others. Be open to that, to learning, to opening yours, to be opening to new things. I'm surprised at the people that are stuck going to their medical doctors when consistently they can't help them. And they know it. They consistently go, and about 30 pharmaceuticals later, or what that one lady, 32 medical doctors later, she decided to give us a call. Holy crap. You're doing nothing wrong, sweetie. You're doing everything so perfect. I love everything you're doing. You just have a body that's locked. We were talking about this the other day, about this lady had this tumor. It was hard as a rock. When you start hardening up like a rock, you're in trouble. Look at that Celine Dion. She needs to fix herself before she gets in real serious trouble. And that's what acids do. It locks you up like a rock. Oh, I'm so stiff in my neck and sore. But she's going deeper into that world where her whole body will become frozen. But there's no anybody out there can help me? No. All those narcissistic people, they just in line, the medical world, they'll find a cure. Michael J. Fox, the medical world will find a cure someday. You tired of waiting? I called you about 15 years ago. Tired of waiting? They'll find a cure someday. Maybe I won't be around then, huh? I don't know. Man, I'm always looking for something. You guys come across an herb or you guys look at something, I'm always looking. I'm always listening to you, too. If you find a formula that works real well or you find you have trouble with the formula, I'm going to look at it. I like to grow. I like to know and grow because the more we grow, the more we make things better. And I mean, these herbs are pretty powerful, but I wonder how good an herb can get. Oh, just look at the thing and it turns you around or something. I don't know. It can be crazy out there, some of these more powerful levels. Woo! I feel deeply committed. I get that, and I love you for it. And that's just exactly what you need to be. Every one of you need her level of commitment. Pull your bodies out of Hellville. Get yourself and free yourself out of all creation and have some fun. Start having some fun, be happy, get out of pain. Some of you guys have been in pain for years. That's horrible. We got to get out of pain, out of all these problems, and have some fun in life, okay? That's the next order of the day. Okay. Aligned with this path. And I trust the body's ability to heal. Well, you have to, because outside of that, what do you got, right? But if you've seen what I've seen, I have no words. I don't even know what level the body can fix itself with you not involved. I've told you some of the quads and the realignment of the bodies and some of the stuff that the divine has done to some of our patients. It's like, what? How can the body know to correct that leg and fix that fracture and pull that scoliosis straight? And how unreal. I've seen some unreal things that just unreal. You can't believe it living in a physical world like this where there's no hope. You get these diseases that there's no cure for, that you have to take a toxic freaking pharmaceutical all your life with. Well, we're here to tell you that there is healing, there is health, there is vitality, and you can get it back. And if you've never had it, you can get it. It might take some working, but you have to learn the rules of the road, right? You always have to learn the rules of the road. And in health, you got to learn the rules of the road. Medical doctors don't know what health is, so they can't learn the rules of the road because their world is diseases. And now they picked up deficiencies from the naturopathic world, which is stupid, picked all that up. So now we've got the medical world that thinks they own it all and don't know anything about any of it. No offense. There are plenty of good medical doctors out there that know what we're talking about. But they've listened to us, they've been down these pathways, but they're not everywhere. Find a medical doctor that's also a naturopathic practitioner thinker that can take you through the worlds of detox and make you better. I can tell you some medical doctors that are in health that can sell you health products. But I'm surprised there have been no improvement in the... Nah, I wouldn't be. You got work ahead of you. You got a lymph system pretty backed up, sweetie. You got the nervous system, you got nerve rings. So you got some work ahead of you. Don't worry about it. You're doing good, especially after such deep cleansing. Keep going because you need to do it. Look at your eyes here. I wonder what they looked like before you did all this. Holy moly. Can you imagine? See, that's what you probably don't realize. What did they look like before you started all this? Or is there something additional you would recommend? No, not really, except for maybe this acid thing here. Lifestyle that I'm not yet addressing. Other than that, staying all on fruit as long as you can. Now, the depression and all that, I am saying, go for the parathyroid, go to the glandular, work on your endocrinology a little stronger, work on your nerves a little stronger with nerve power. You can drink the tonics to strengthen up the body, but you still got to open some doors. You got a lot of sewage in your body that's got to come out of there. Plus, look at the sulfur. You are right on. I love you guys. You're learning. I love that. Plus, if there's anything you learned from this picture, what is it? How thick this white is all through you. All this white is your lymph system. All through you. And there's your sulfur, obviously. So don't beat yourself up. You have done marvelous, darling. You have. I want to say thank you. Your work has changed my life. Oh, you're a sweetheart, Terry. You're a sweetheart. You're 32. I don't know if you're married with kids, but if you got kids, they're lucky that they got a mom like you. Because I know you wouldn't be satisfied not helping everyone around you. And if you're not, guys, here's a good woman right here. The reason is that I talk that way is that it's hard to find good mates that have similar thinking. Really, really rough out there. I've got one more I think I can do. Okay. Oh, Joanna from Australia is 72 years young. She's only 5 foot tall, 149 pounds. You got to work on your kidneys. She's got bloating, gas, fast heart rate, and out of rhythm. A little something like that? What like out of rhythm do you mean? I have condition where I have a huge buildup of gas, then my heart goes very fast and goes out of rhythm, then I end up in the hospital. Doctors don't seem to know what's wrong. Any ideas, please? Joanna, we were just talking about sulfur. Go up to the mirror and see if you have orange or red around your pupil. I don't know what color eyes you have, blue or brown. But see if you can see orange around your pupil, if they're blue, white, hazel, that sort of thing. All right? Gas and bloating means you're not digesting your foods properly. You have fermentation. Now, you can have impactions on your bowel wall or diverticulums, bowel pocket, where you have a lot of fermentation involved. So, and you can have old fecal matter impacted in these herniations of the bowel. So it can come from several sources. It can be pancreatic. You're combining your foods wrong, which most people do anyway. So to remedy this, you want to go on a very simple fruit diet. I would only eat one type of fruit at a time. I would chew it totally up good and see how you get along. I would also, if you move your bowels well, I would get our stomach and bowel number 1. This comes with the detox kit. You want the kidney formula, you want the lymphatic formula, but if you move your bowels every day good, then you want the GI tract one, number 1. And this will help pull all this out of you, clean the wall out, enhance pancreatic function a little bit, that sort of thing. You want to go kind of a mono diet. In other words, because one of the things in the hospital and cardiac work, one of the first questions that we ask you, do you have gas? Because a lot of chest pains is gas. And what I've seen here is that can flip you into AFib while you went to the hospital. Flips you into atrial fibrillation. So you got to clean up the GI tract. The relationship to that is in other videos, but important to understand the relationship of your colon to your heart, right? And that gas, trapped gas, can cause chest pain big time. Feel like you're having a heart attack. But it also can trip you. If you have weak thyroid, parathyroid, and adrenals, it can trip you into atrial fibrillation. And so you want to take a look at that. You need to clean up your bowels. You want to get your kidneys filtering. Honey, you want to see sewage in your urine. And if you're at 72 years young, you're going to work on your kidneys. Big deal. Because your sewer system of another type is backed up. And boy, if you could get a picture of your eyes, that would be kind of cool there, sweetheart. Is somebody there to help her? She's 72 years old, Joanna. But, yeah, they wouldn't know how to help you with this one. But you want to start opening up your doors, your body's doors, your elimination of your wastes and byproducts, not only cellularly, but you want to clean your bowel walls off. You want to I'm going to look at your pancreas to make sure you're digesting your foods. So until you get your body cleaned up a little bit, you want to super chew your foods. Double chew your foods. Slow down when you eat. Super chew your foods. Don't have too many food combinations. Do not combine. Matter of fact, don't eat any protein for a while until we can fix this. All right? But you never combine protein and starch. They don't mix it the same meal. And yet, how many restaurants serve a potato, bread, or whatever with meat? Either a sandwich or steak or whatever. It's a staple. Mexican food, meat and starch. Italian food, starch and meat. It's all over the place. They don't mix together. They don't digest together. Matter of fact, digestion is terminated when you eat those foods. You can bloat up. You can have all kinds of problems. And you can become an alcoholic from it. Remember that one? Absolutely. As you ferment, you create alcohol. So many people are alcoholics and don't realize they have to have, because the end result is fermentation. When I was at the hospital, we did a lot of experiments with that. But what is your blood alcohol after an hour after you eat? So I'll just repeat that one case. It was an older gentleman. His wife had a bowl of oatmeal for him for breakfast. And so ate the oatmeal and said, yeah, that's good. She said, he told his wife, he said, you got any watermelon, honey? I've been craving some watermelon. She said, I do. I have a little bit of watermelon in the refrigerator. So she brought him out a little piece of watermelon. So he had that watermelon. So he had a bowl of oatmeal, some watermelon, and he said, honey, I'm going to Home Depot. I'll be back in an hour. I'm just going to pick up a couple things. Okay. 3 hours went by, never showed up, never came back home. 4 hours went by, never came home. Suddenly her phone rang. It was the sheriff's department. Is this Miss Such and Such? She said, why, yes. She said, is your husband such and such? She says, why, yes. I've been waiting for him all day. He said, we arrested him this morning for, wait for it, DUI. That watermelon converted to alcohol that fast. And he was arrested for DUI that morning. And his wife said, my husband doesn't drink alcohol. And the deputy said, that's what he's been telling us, but his blood alcohol level is way up there. Didn't know why. I was doing radio shows at that time, and I was talking about that on my radio show, letting people know what happens when you eat wrong. You combine your foods wrong, right? And you do not combine a fast digesting food on top of a slow one. Oh, this will hit me in minutes. It'll hit me. Right? You don't put fruit on top of vegetables. No way, Jose. Vegetables take a long time to digest. Fruit, they're on their way, baby. Watch out, I'm coming through. That's another reason why we use fruits for hydrating faster and stuff. They don't mess around. They digest easy. They lend their energy easy. They're not like vegetables like, oh my God, this is going to be a while. So I'd like to have a picture of your eyes if any way possible, Deb. I don't know this lady, but my guess she's got chronic GI tract problems, no question about that. The relationship, but this will teach you the relationship of the gut to the heart, gut to the lungs. Another thing is when you get pressure building up here, you start getting short of breath. You can't breathe. Oh, I breathe a lot better now. Ah, yeah, I just had to pass some gas. So you want to take a look at that. And again, how you eat, how you combine your foods, the condition of your GI tract, the condition of your pancreas. Are you digesting or breaking down your foods, or are they fermenting? Or are they putrefying, as in meat? You got putrefaction and fermentation. And so when you combine those two, you got those two go, wait a minute. Oh, I must have combined wrong last night. Oh man, I got putrefaction over here and fermentation over here. I mean, that's what goes on in us. That's why we're a dirty species. That's why they say the animals can smell a human miles away. Oh. You ever smell a tumor? For some of you ladies that's got these big tumors busting out their breasts, are just sad. Sad. For so many reasons. But you want to help yourself, sweetheart, because you want to fix this. This should be an easy fix. I don't know what all is wrong. You're 72 years old. Your eyes show a picture of your whole body. You might want to get one in there. Get it to the guys or Deb. But gassy, bloaty, that can be sulfur, that can be, we've been talking about mucoid plaque. That's that thick black plaque we've been showing you pictures of. All I got is nasty tumors. I got to eat lunch. All right. We have one more real quick one. Valeria, Valeria, that's a male, United States, 2 years old, 2 foot 6 inches, 23 pounds. What the heck is that? I have no idea. I've never heard of that syndrome whatsoever. Let me spell it for you guys. A-I, I think, or A-L-C-A-R-D-I, or Cardia, G-O-U-T-I-E-R-E-S syndrome. Never heard of it. Dear Dr. Morse, I wanted to ask about my baby who has Algardia, I could forget it. Syndrome is a disorder. Thanks, Deb. Appreciate that. She looked it up for me. It's a disorder with variable signs and symptoms. Oh, God, you can't make this crap up. But it primarily affects the brain, the immune system, and the skin. These guys just don't stop. I wonder, this must be a name of a couple of medical doctors or a medical doctor that said, oh, this kid has a whole bunch of symptoms. We'll just call him my name. Holy crap. So when you have multiple symptoms in a body, would you not assume that there should be a connecting link? I would. Yeah, I got several symptoms around the body, and we kind of talked about it with the First Lady. I assume a connecting link. All right? Okay, so what's your body made of? About 76 to 100 trillion cells. Some of them are attached to each other. Some have tubes attached to each other. Some of them sit on top of each other, right? You have some form bones with a matrix. You've got some form hair, nails. What's some of the connecting links to all the cells? Each cell is an individual like you and I. We're an individual. Sitting in a room called the liver. And a whole bunch of us in here. And a whole bunch of us together is called the liver. Okay? We like to convert chemistry. We are chemistry transformers. Remember biological transmutations? When transmutations came out, the chemistry world went, what? It did. It went nuts. I took on it right away. I loved it. I said, oh yeah. Life is always transmutating. But the chemistry world went, nah. He boo-hooed him big time for a long time. Not me. I went, oh yeah, baby. I took myself out of here. What was I talking about? Anyway, the connecting link to all the cells is one, food. We've got to feed everybody. So that's a connecting link. The blood system connects everybody. Cut the blood vessel off somewhere and something's going to die because blood is the life force, right? Right. Okay. So what's another connecting link? Lymph, sewer system. Remember the finger, the sewer system. It follows the blood. Everywhere there's blood, there's lymph almost. But there's somewhere or another, they've got to be able to dump. And then the blood, if it has a way of collecting some garbage in the way, uses the spleen to clean itself. I got to clean myself a little more. But medical doctors think, oh, what the spleen, what all that's for? We'll just dump it all back in the blood again. Rough. That one's rough. So connecting links are also one other big connecting link, neurological. The autonomic nervous system literally goes everywhere. Literally makes everything function. Your beta cells produce insulin. Everything has to happen neurologically. That awareness that trips the autonomic comes out of the CNS, Wizard of Oz, the observer, the God overviewing its creation, the autonomic, dualistic, autonomic, sympathetic, parasympathetic. So the observer, the consciousness, the God of the land, the brain, the central nervous system oversees and sends signals to the autonomic, which is duality, positive and negative. It's all your form, all your forces. Kind of somewhat of a comparison, eh? So the connecting link is always your lymphatic system when you're having symptoms. Because if you're eating correct, that's where the problem is, eating correctly. Because if you're eating acidically, you're going to pay an acidic price. If you're eating hydrating alkaline-wise, you're going to pay a good, healthy price. Food is on the alkaline side. The blood is an alkaline slurry. Why would we want to dump acid chemistry into the blood? It doesn't make sense. And that's because most food for most vertebrates are on the alkaline side of chemistry. The only where you see some augmentation is going to be the carnivore. And yet, there's argument that the carnivore likes the gut tissue of all the antelopes and all these animals they kill because they're pre-digested grass, prairie eaters, pre-digested grass, so the protein won't hurt them, won't destroy them, because proteins will destroy all cells. You have to see how God protected the carnivore. But anyway, so 2 years old, where am I going? At 2 years old, I'm going on a fruit diet. And especially if it's brain and nerve tissue problems, right? What did Yale discover? That the brain converts glucose, vegetable sugar, into fructose, fruit sugar, right? Right. I mean, there's glucose in fruits too, and some fructose in some vegetables. Yeah. Argumentally, though, we are talking about fruit, fructose, vegetables, glucose. Just keeping it simple. Well, why would the brain convert glucose into fructose for? That don't make sense. Glucose is a simple sugar. These are the two basic simple sugars of nature. It's glucose and fructose. You can get into ribose, you get into the cellular sugar, simple sugars and stuff like that, of course. But keeping it simple. So when you have brain problems, whether it's in a baby, whether it's in an adult, whether it's in someone in a nursing home, you're going to load them down on brain-feeding chemistry, which is fruits. Now, link that to our clinical successes and show how we get MS, Lou Gehrig's, Parkinson's, spinal cord injuries, how we can regenerate those tissues on fruit, but we can't on vegetables. It all ties together so sweet. That Yale study couldn't have been better, and I have my feelings about Yale. What? Okay. Coming. I got to get. But you see where I'm going with that? There are connecting links, and those connecting links, medical doctors don't understand. Why wouldn't they? They should. Blood is a connecting link everywhere, but it's not a storage system. It's an on-moving system. It feeds. The lymph is the sewer. That's where you find the acid. That's where you find the inflammatory processes. That's where you find all symptomology called diseases. Go to your sewer system. And then, of course, you don't know where this little one is neurologically. You don't know if she's got nerve rings all over the place. If you can get an eye pics of this little 2-year-old, it would be great. But this little 2-year-old needs to be on fruit. I would also get, in the handcrafted line, a urinary tract formula, number 1. That would be by drops. Now, you can use the glycerin. The glycerin is so good. You can go to the glycerin and use them as children's formulas. They're for children and animals. And you can get the urinary one. You want the endocrine gland one, that sort of thing. But you want your child on fruit. This is 2 years old, and your child is a frugivore. So all kinds of fruit. You can make applesauce and put cinnamon in it. You get all kinds of creativity with the fruit if you want with that. But that's where you have to go. If it's a neurological, I'd use brain power. But with a 2-year-old, it's drops, not dropper full. I like 4 to 6 drops. 1, 2, 3, that sort of thing. Right? But I've regenerated brain tissue in all ages, so don't freak out. Get focused. If you need more help, call over here in the clinic here and get with Jessica. Because we want to fix your little one up there. We don't want to have serious problems in a 2-year-old, right? And definitely. Yep. Please get a hold of us, because that just makes me sick to see that. And that there's no help out there. Sure, there's help out there. And just remember that the connecting links to all these are your 3 basic: blood, nerve, and lymph. But of those, there are cells involved with those as well. There are immune cells in your sewer system, your immune system, because they said the problem is in the immune system. What did your medical doctor mean by that? I'd like to have him or her explain it to me, please. How did you determine that? So again, the lymphatic system is a problem. Well, we're then looking at the little 2-year-old's kidneys and adrenal glands, aren't we? Now, do we have a pituitary going on here? What do we got going on here? And that's why you want the endocrine gland formula. You want to enhance all the function of this little 2-year-old's glands. I love you guys. You guys are the best. You're simply, simply, simply the best. I love you guys. You see, the world is full of suffering, and we can help. We can help hugely. Like you guys are helping yourselves. I am honored to actually come here and help you. Look at all what you guys are doing for yourselves and helping yourselves and your children. I'm honored. And I'll always be here giving you as much help as I possibly can. We all are going to try to help. Everybody. Love you. To Hawaii.